Hello everyone, Reza here. Welcome to another how-to video. In this one, we are going to talk about an exciting addition to Maya 2022, component tags. Now, component tags allow you to produce name groups to deform your geometry. You may say, well, Reza, this sounds like a selection set, and we've been using selection set for years. Well, the catch is the tag can be called by modifiers and deformers. So basically, component tags enable you to select any tag memberships coming from edges or faces and modify them on the fly. Let's actually have a look at this scene and see how we can use this, how we can produce component tags to begin with. And we are going to come up with an example where the component tags can actually be called by a rigging tool. So first things first, we've got a scene and a character in the scene. Let's talk about where to find component tags. Well, first things first, if you were to know how to enable or disable this feature, you need to go to Windows, Setting Preferences, Preferences, and then you select Animation, scroll all the way down into Rigging section. Now, this section is brand new, and it replaces ID groups and auxiliary nodes that we used to have in Maya, and it allows you to create node-independent named groups to deform geometry. The first option that we have, use component tags for deformation component subsets, allows you to convert selected geometry to a component tag. As soon as you enable this, the second one gets activated automatically, and the second one actually does the conversion. So it basically converts selected components to a component tag. So when you create a deformer, let's say, it will generate the component tag within the tool. Now, if you disable these two, we're enabling the legacy mode, for lack of better word, where we had tweak nodes on any deformer. We talked about tweak nodes in the past, especially throughout the facial rigging for beginner series blend shape section. We talked about how tweak nodes can kind of slow down your scene if you're not careful, and they will get added to the history channel. They will be part of the input channel, and sometimes you need to reorder in order to get the right deformation. But now, right now, component tags allow us to use them without having any tweak nodes in the scene, which I'm very, very excited about. So with those two enabled, which should be enabled by default, I'm going to go save, and let's navigate to component tags rollout. Well, if you select your model and Control A to go to your shape node in the attribute editor, we now have component tags rollout. Now I already have two component tags, and the type of it is face tag. So if I select the face tag, you can see I'm selecting the face. If I click on the bodysuit tag, I'm selecting the body. How many counts we're talking about and what is the order? Right now there is no order, so they've both been labeled 1. Now let's say we're about to create one brand new tag. Let's say I realize that I need to select this little guy also as a component tag. I realize that we have a little bit of an issue here, a big n-gon. So I just want to have that fixed. But in order to fix that, I would like to have that as my component tags, so I can call it, then I can apply modifiers to it, so on and so forth. So the way that you introduce component tags is by selecting the component, and then you go in here. You can select edges as well, you can select faces as well, and you can see the icon in the type column will change. And I'm going to go into the plus sign, add a new component tag. It gets added. There is no name assigned, and that name is critical. So you need to make sure that you have that name It doesn't matter what name you give it, but it needs to make sense, and you need to be able to use the same name to call the function later on. Now we call this light. See, the thing is, at any point of time, if you want to call any part of this body, extrude it, change its material, add any modifier, or assign any modeling tools, you can easily select them and go to Edit Mesh, Mesh Tools, or Mesh, and apply your modifier on it. So let's explore why we use these names and how they can be used in production. For that, I need to switch to another scene. All right, here I am in a brand new scene. I've got an animated character in the scene, and I'm about to apply a deformer to it. The act is, the character is quite mad actually. He didn't have the best day. If I play the timeline, you can see quite frustrated, to be honest. And yeah, so basically that's the act. What I want to do is to add a little bit of movement on the belly without changing the skin weights. That's the last thing I want to do, because the deformation works to some degree and I really don't want to touch the skin weight or the influence coming from bones to vertices. Now, here's the power of component tags that allow you to just apply a deformer and just isolate it to certain areas. I'm going to stop the timeline and rewind. Now, by default, if I were to add a deformer for the belly to jiggle a little, it's going to take more than one click for sure. So I need to create an influence and assign the influence, add it to my skin, and then go ahead and tweak the skin weight. Again, just a quick reminder, we do not want to change the skin weight because skinning takes time. So if I were to go ahead and just into deform, go in here and say jiggle deformer. And let's say I'm going to go to jiggle deformer in here, and I say, well, I can tone some of these down. I can go and change the dampening. I can increase the stiffness. I don't know, jiggle weight, I can go to 0.9. So tone down the result a little bit, but if I were to play, the character is having a heart attack. So it really doesn't help the situation, and I can't stop laughing. So as you can see, it is really difficult to just isolate an area and say, all right, I want jiggle to only be applied to certain region. Now let's get to work. I can select the components, go to face mode, and then zoom in. And I'm going to select the areas that I want jiggle deformer to take place. Let's say I want to select these guys, maybe one here, and these guys, and where did I select? Here and here. Preferably want that to be symmetrical. I could have used symmetry as well, but anyhow. Now we turn this into component tags. So I'm gonna go in here, go into its shape node. You can see we have skin cluster here. So if I go to component mode, I still have my selection ready to go. I'm gonna click, and it selects the type as face. Now double click on it and say super big belly. Now I am going to copy the name because knowing the name is quite essential. Now if I go to the jiggle tab into a deformer attribute, look what we have. It says, would you like to assign the deformer to the entire model, or you would like to assign it to the component tag? I'm just going to erase this asterisk and replace it with my component tag. The cool thing about this, it comes up with the wildcard. So if you're not 100% sure, as soon as you start typing, it brings up all of them. Now, let's rewind and play. You can see it only have an impact on the belly. How cool is that? I can even go ahead, select the geometry, and I am going to sort of intensifying the effect a little bit, right? Play. You can see the belly jiggles a little bit. Of course, you can go ahead and keyframe it and crank up the stiffness right after this point. But the whole idea is not about smooth animation, it's about how to kind of control the deformer and shift the focus to a certain area only. And that is a huge, huge bonus where we really don't need to, mess around with the influence of the rig and the skin and the bind. We don't need to change anything. It's everything and anything we want is here. All right, this is it. I hope you found this video useful and use it in your projects from now on. It's an exciting new addition. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next how-to video.